Throughout history, there have been individuals who didn't just live. They transformed the world around them. They challenged norms, sparked revolutions, healed nations, built futures, and inspired billions. Welcome to our journey through time, as we explore the incredible lives of people who changed the world forever. Chapter 1. The Power of Vision, Leonardo da Vinci. Let's begin with a man whose mind lived centuries ahead of his time. Leonardo da Vinci. Born in 1452, Leonardo wasn't just an artist. He was an inventor, engineer, anatomist, and dreamer. His notebooks were filled with sketches of helicopters, tanks, and futuristic machines that wouldn't be built until hundreds of years later. But Leonardo's true genius wasn't just in his ideas. It was in how he saw the world, with curiosity, wonder, and a relentless drive to understand. The Mona Lisa and The Last Supper are masterpieces that have stood the test of time. But even more impactful was his belief that art and science could coexist. In a world often divided, Leonardo united creativity with logic, and that changed everything. Chapter 2. The Fight for Freedom. Harriet Tubman. Now, let's turn to the fight for justice. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery in the United States in the 1820s, but she refused to let chains define her. She escaped bondage, and then risked her life again and again to lead over 70 people to freedom via the Underground Railroad. Tubman didn't just escape. She became a leader, a fighter, and a spy during the Civil War. She once said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." Her courage sparked a movement. Her name became a symbol of resistance, and her legacy lives on in every fight for human rights today. Chapter 3. Revolution through Thought. Mahatma Gandhi. In India, a quiet man wearing simple clothes led one of the most powerful revolutions in history without lifting a weapon. Mahatma Gandhi used nonviolent resistance to fight British colonial rule. His philosophy of satyagraha, truth force, inspired millions. Gandhi's Salt March, his hunger strikes, his calm in the face of violence, all showed the world that power doesn't always lie in armies or wealth. Sometimes it lies in principle. Gandhi's ideas influenced global leaders, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Nelson Mandela, and his belief in peace and justice still resonates today. Chapter 4. The Science of Change. Marie Curie. Let's talk science. And one of the most brilliant minds of all time, Marie Curie. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the only person ever to win in two different sciences, physics and chemistry. Curie's work on radioactivity changed the face of medicine and physics. She discovered new elements, polonium and radium, and developed techniques for isolating radioactive isotopes. She broke gender barriers, risked her health in the name of research, and never backed down from her pursuit of knowledge. Her work paved the way for cancer treatment, nuclear energy, and deeper understanding of the atom. Chapter 5. Innovation that connected the world. Steve Jobs. Fast forward to the digital age. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, didn't just make computers. He changed the way we interact with technology. From the Macintosh to the iPhone, Jobs believed that design, simplicity, and user experience were just as important as function. He once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." And he did. His vision made technology more personal, more intuitive, and more powerful. Today, billions of people carry his legacy in their pockets. That's the mark of a world changer. Chapter 6. A Voice for the Voiceless. Malala Yousafzai. In a remote valley in Pakistan, a young girl stood up for her right to education. Malala Yousafzai spoke out against the Taliban, who were trying to silence girls and deny them schooling. In 2012, she was shot in the head for speaking her truth. But she survived and became a global icon for education and women's rights. At just 17, she became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Malala reminds us that courage has no age, that even in darkness, one voice can echo around the world. Chapter 7. Music that moved generations. Bob Marley. Music has power to heal, to unite, to ignite change. Bob Marley, born in Jamaica, turned reggae into a global movement. But he was more than a musician, he was a revolutionary poet. Songs like Get Up, Stand Up, One Love, and Redemption Song became anthems of peace and resistance. Marley used rhythm to speak truth about injustice, inequality, and love. Even decades after his death, his music continues to inspire, because Marley didn't just make hits, he made history. Chapter 8. Building a Legacy of Hope. Nelson Mandela for 27 years. Nelson Mandela sat in prison for standing against apartheid in South Africa, but he never gave up on peace. When he was released in 1990, he didn't seek revenge, he sought unity. In 1994, he became South Africa's first black president. His leadership, his forgiveness, and his unwavering hope turned a divided nation into a beacon of possibility. Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." And he proved it. Chapter 9. The digital trailblazer Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. A British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee invented something we all use every day, the World Wide Web. He didn't patent it. He gave it away for free. His creation connected billions of people, opened access to knowledge, transformed industries, and changed the way we live, learn, and communicate. The internet revolutionized the world, and Berners-Lee did it not for profit but for progress. Chapter 10. A future worth fighting for Greta Thunberg at just 15 years old. Greta Thunberg skipped school to protest climate change outside the Swedish parliament. Her simple act grew into a global movement, Fridays for Future. She has spoken at the UN, challenged world leaders, and become the face of a generation fighting for the planet. Greta proves that you don't need fame, wealth, or age to make a difference. You just need conviction. Each of these individuals came from different backgrounds, different times, and different walks of life. But they all had one thing in common. They believed in something bigger than themselves. They were dreamers, fighters, creators, and rebels. They were human, just like you and me. And they remind us that one person can make all the difference. Final chapter. You can change the world too. You don't have to be a scientist, president, or tech genius to change the world. Change starts in small moments. A kind word, a bold idea, a helping hand, a brave stand. The people who changed the world weren't perfect. They just showed up with heart, with courage, and with purpose. So what will you do with your one wild and precious life? Because the next person to change the world could be watching this video right now. If you enjoyed this journey through history and hope, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment and let us know who inspires you the most. Thanks for watching. Stay bold, stay curious, and remember, you have the power to change the world.